In the heart of the lush, green kingdom of Akanzi, there lived a wealthy but miserly man named Abesai. Though he had vast fields of yams, granaries filled with grain, and herds of cattle, Abesai was never satisfied. His insatiable greed drove him to hoard his wealth, refusing to share even with his own family or those in need. One day, while walking through his fields, Abesai stumbled upon a strange, glowing object half buried in the earth. Curious, he dug it up and found a beautiful golden calabash. The calabash shimmered in the sunlight, its surface engraved with intricate patterns that seemed to dance before his eyes. As he marveled at his find, he heard a soft voice emanating from the calabash. Abesai, the voice whispered, I am the calabash of wealth. I can make you richer than you ever imagined, but only if you follow my instructions carefully. Greed gleaming in his eyes, Abesai eagerly agreed. The calabash told him to keep it hidden and never reveal it to anyone. Every day, it instructed, he must place a single grain of millet inside it, and by the next morning, the calabash would be filled with gold. Please click on the subscribe button. True to its word, the next day, the golden calabash was overflowing with gold. Abesai was overjoyed and began placing a single grain of millet in the calabash every day, growing richer and richer. But as his wealth grew, so did his greed. He started to demand more and more gold, and one day, Abesai decided to pour an entire sack of millet into the calabash, hoping to receive an even greater bounty. The next morning, instead of gold, Abesai found the calabash filled with nothing but dust. Panicked, he tried again, but each time he offered millet, the calabash only returned dust. Furious, he shook the calabash, shouting at it to give him his gold. But the calabash remained silent. Desperate and angry, Abesai threw the calabash to the ground, shattering it into pieces. As the calabash broke, a great wind rose, swirling the dust around him. The wind grew stronger and stronger until it carried away all of Abesai's wealth. His yams, his cattle, his grain all disappeared into the air. Abesai was left with nothing, his greed having stripped him of everything he held dear. Destitute, he wandered the land, begging for food and shelter. As he traveled, he began to reflect on his actions, realizing how his greed had led to his downfall. One day, Abesai encountered an old woman sitting by a river. She was frail and hungry, and despite his own poverty, Abesai felt compelled to share the little food he had with her. The old woman smiled at his kindness and, in a gentle voice, told him a secret. The true wealth of life is not in gold or possessions, but in the generosity of the heart, she said. The calabash was a test, Abesai, to teach you this lesson. Now that you have learned it, you will find true peace. With that, the old woman vanished, leaving behind a single grain of millet in her place. Abesai took the grain and planted it by the river. Over time, it grew into a mighty tree that bore fruit for all to share. As the tree flourished, so did Abesai's spirit, no longer consumed by greed but filled with the joy of giving. The people of Akanzi came to know Abesai as a kind and generous man, and in the end, he found redemption in the love and respect of his community. The golden calabash was never seen again, but its lesson remained in the hearts of those who heard the story, that true wealth lies not in what we keep, but in what we give. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe for more contents like this.